What's going on, guys? Welcome to it. It's time to pour another pint of knowledge. You found yourself as part of the rounds. Brewed There, Drank That, and All That Ales proudly present. My name's Glenn. Hopefully you know that by now. Today, it's cold and dank outside. So, a little something to help fight it off before the real heat arrives. Today, we're swinging out to 21st Amendment, whose base of operations is, of course, in San Francisco, while their cannery is actually in Minnesota. We're checking out a seasonal release from them, or a limited edition release, depending on how you want to say it. This is Monk's Blood. Monk's Blood comes in at 8.3% alcohol by volume and features cinnamon, vanilla. It's rested on toasted oak and is also brewed with dried figs. Comes in 4-packs and will run you in the neighborhood of a 10 spot. And as you can see, she's a beaut. Gorgeous dark hue to her. Orange, not so much. More on the red-brownish side. Khaki colored head. Not exactly as thick as you might expect, and seems like it's going to break down to a wisping here pretty quick. I went ahead and used a tulip glass in honor of the fact that this is a Belgian style. I get figs, oak, and vanilla on the nose. Quite interestingly, for a brewery that almost always lists everything about their beer, the IBUs weren't mentioned here. What can you draw from this? Probably not going to be a hop-driven beer. The focus here is the adjuncts. Definitely going to have that sturdy malt backbone to provide stage for these adjuncts. Malt, unfermented sugars, a little sugar on the nose, and again oak, figs, and vanilla. Thin head, it's going to break down, probably leave barely a wisping across the top of the beer here. And it's just a complete menagerie in terms of the flavor profile. Almost instantly you get oak and fig kind of leading, and all of this is in step with the malt profile. After that you tend to get a little bit of that vanilla, and towards the end you get just a little bit of residual cinnamon with the oak. Kind of leaves a lightly woody finish on the palate. And the oak is really nice. 21st Amendment, for being as young a brewery as they are, I think they do absolutely amazing work in wood aging their beers. They make one of my favorite IPAs, or double IPAs of all time, the Hop Crisis. That as well is an oak rested beer, and they do phenomenal work with these barrel rested beers. Now, I believe both this one and the Hop Crisis use chips, so technically not barrel-aged. The difference there is probably going to be your cost of investment. It costs a good bit more to buy a nice cask or barrel from one of these, any distillery. And then, of course, you have chips. Chips are going to provide that same fantastic oaky flavor. And you don't have to invest quite as much, so you're still getting a great quality of product. Nice effervescence. Most of it is actually covered up by the heft and the color of the beer, but I can still see some bubbles floating up to the top here. She's alive. It's rich, it's robust. It does have big flavor, but again, no hops here whatsoever. I've turned a few folks on to this. Recommended food pairing. Hopefully you guys have seen the video the food pairing for this before or after, I'm not sure which. But barbecue chicken baked potato. The heft of the barbecue chicken baked potato is going to pair fantastically with this. Now, if you use a Kansas City style barbecue sauce, which I did, a little bit of molasses and kind of a kick of spice there, that sticky molasses effect is going to flow seamlessly into the fig, the oak, and the vanilla of this, and you're going to find yourself with a happy face hole. Absolutely delicious, limited edition release, so I suggest grabbing it while it's around. Other than that, guys, it's time for the weekend. So here's to it. I'm hoping you're doing what I'm doing. Drink to your health, please. Drink American, drink independent, and we'll see you next time here on The Rounds. Have a good one, guy. I'm Glenn.